Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. Well, let's look at inflow outflow. So there seems to have been a shift. I kind of mentioned, I think some of you guys recognize that, hey, all of a sudden ETH is not as strong as before. And that could be because Wall Street buying, started to dissipate. Bitcoin inflow picked up yesterday, a good amount, 178 million. But you look at ETH inflow, 39 million. What happened there? Look at the 5 days before it, like basically 300 million, 300 million, 400 million, 400 million, 300 million, 39 million. What happened there? Something changed. So let's hope that's not the new trend. Let's hope that we go back to before. This could be the reason why ETH all of a sudden seems to have lost a little pep in this stuff. If anyone says that, I don't know why I said that, but that could be the reason. But we'll see. We'll see. What else is going on? Bitcoin conference is happening in Hong Kong right now, and Eric Trump talks Bitcoin. Basically, the Trump family, they're all in, right? They're involved with so many companies. They're about to launch their new mining company. I mean, just everything, right? And they're talking Bitcoin. I think both brothers are there. Both sons are there. And there's one quote in here saying that, you know what? Eric Trump said Bitcoin will hit $1 million eventually in the next couple of years. To quote, I really believe in the next several years, Bitcoin hits $1 million. There's no question. And he's adding that 90% of his time is spent with the crypto community. Yeah, see, once you go crypto, you never go back. That's the thing. Yesterday, some of you guys may be basketball fans, right? You guys know I am. Like yesterday, I was in a Spaces with Tristan Thompson, and some of you guys may remember him from the Cavs days of past. In fact, he's still with the Cavs. More of a role player these days, but still, he was crucial in that run. And, he's all in on crypto too. So it's just quite amazing. Once people come into crypto, they just like stay in crypto. Just thought I'd mention that. All right, what else? Bitcoin headed to 190,000 on institutional wave. Research firm says Tiger model pegs a base price. Like that's basically the worst case scenario, that Bitcoin hits at least 135,000. Well, then you could add a plus 3.5% for growing fundamentals. And then plus 35% on growing macro conditions. Okay, you add all that together, it's 190. But let's say you don't have the macro or fundamentals, then the base price is 135,000, which would be a disappointment. If we topped out at 135,000 this cycle, and then we started heading crypto winter, that would be a disappointment. However, if we top out at 135, and then we just keep on going, even in 2026 and 2027, we never really go into crypto winter, then that's okay. Then it's not a big deal, right? If we're entering a super cycle where we're just forever going up, and we may have some volatility along the way, then that's okay. That's okay. So I guess we'll see which scenario we're presented with at the end of this year. What else is there? Let's see. Florida Retirement Fund has 80 million in MicroStrategy. I guess that's as good as Bitcoin, but really it isn't. They should just buy Bitcoin or Bitcoin ETF. MicroStrategy, of course, is good. That means they're in crypto, so to speak, right? But I think just holding physical Bitcoin is a lot better, or Bitcoin ETF, which causes more Bitcoin buying. MicroStrategy stock, I don't think they're it's been stagnant for a while, so I don't know. Maybe they'll pick up again, but whatever. It shows you that a state retirement fund is involved, and that's good. You have this AirNet technology that buys $90 million of the Bitcoin. So again, people are still buying. Companies are still buying. So the fundamentals still growing, right? And then you got an upgrade too. Like I just saw this Tether. There's a new protocol called RGB that's on the Lightning Network, okay, and allows digital issuance of like tokens and stuff. So Tether is bringing USDT to that. So basically, now you have native Tether on this new protocol, this new layer on top of Bitcoin and Lightning Network. So it's interesting. However, I don't know. You know, like a year ago, it got really hot in terms of like smart contracts, DeFi, tokens, even memes, right on top of Bitcoin. You don't hear about it as much now. I'm sure the community is still thriving, but you just don't hear as much about that anymore, right? For me, I still like Bitcoin to just be a store of value and everything else just be on other chains, right? That's kind of how I would want it, but you know, obviously that's not the case. There's a lot of things going on. All right. And then we got this, the supply shock. There's a lot of things going on. Okay. This graph, the first one is supply in profit, which is actually low, which means that the number of people that like the short-term sellers, they sold, right? And now that number, people in profit, has dropped to a point where usually that indicates a next move is going up, because basically everyone that sold or wanted to sell did. So that's one. And this is really telling. I don't know what happened. This is the reason why, you know, we were stuck for so long. Ever since we hit that top, or close to the top in the 120s, right? You had massive amount of selling from either the whales or miners. I mean, look at how much was dumped late July and even in August leading till now. And now it stopped and turned green. So the miners could have been taking advantage of the high prices. And then we know that some of these whales have come out of nowhere and just started dumping. Well, that's probably for ETH or for some whatever reason. But yeah, this is the reason why Bitcoin didn't really go above 120 and kind of stood where it was. Had this not been happening, we probably would have made that next leg up and we'd be sitting at 150s. That's a massive amount of dumping from these guys, which really sucks. But the good news is it's over. You can clearly see. And we even flipped into the green side, which is good. But yeah, that's just, I don't know. These miners, I guess it makes sense for the miners because, you know, they've been holding a lot and then they have to take profit in order to pay for operations and stuff. And it makes more sense for them to do so when the price is high than low, right? And if they do it when it's low, it's going to cause Bitcoin to go lower. So, but still, it kind of sucks. It kind of holds the market back a little bit.